only 300 milligrams of caffeine, no yohimbine, no alpha-yo, clear daily driver. But boy, does this thing hit.
Holy crap!
What's happening, guys? Hope your day is going well. Today we're going to review Old School Labs Blast Max. There it is. We're going to go over the ingredients so you know what you put in your body. We'll go over the effects on this bad boy. If you're new to the channel, you like stuff like that, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you along for the ride. So, getting into Blast Max. So first, let's get the flavor out of the way. This is a mango margarita flavor, and the flavor is good. I think if you really have to have a good flavor, then you're going to be fine with this thing. And they did a good job, because this, when I throw this ingredient profile up, you're going to see this is a stacked, packed formula.
Yes, it is.
So when I go over the ingredients here, I'm not going to dive deep in these ingredients. Some of them I may try to talk a little bit more about things that you haven't seen before, but some of the vitamins and like the L-citrulline and stuff, I'm just going to browse through real quick on what the effects on it, because this video would be 30-45 minutes if I dove into every single ingredient. So let's throw the ingredient profile so you can take a look at it right in front of me. We got 1 scoop, 20.9 grams, at 20 servings. And just so you know, one flat level scoop is between 20 and 21 grams. Don't pack the scoop. You're going to get about a gram and a half over if you really dig in and pack it to the side. So just dig in, scrape up, throw it in your bottle, or throw it on a scale. It's up to you. We got calories at 10 grams. We have carbohydrates at 2 grams. We have vitamin C at 100 milligrams. Vitamin C is a cofactor to dopamine production. It's also a cofactor to collagen production in the body and immune function. Then we have niacin at 20 milligrams. This helps on a cellular level, helps with NAD production, so it's going to help keep those cells active and regulated. Then we have B6 at 10 milligrams. This is also a cofactor to dopamine, epinephrine, serotonin, and GABA in the brain. So it's going to help with cognitive function and focus. That's why you find it in sleep aids. And we got vitamin B12 at 50 micrograms. It's going to help with carbohydrate and fat metabolism for energy production, and also is a cofactor to some catecholamines in the brain as well. Then we have some choline at 190 milligrams. Choline is from betacholine. Choline is a super important nutrient in the body. If we eliminated all the choline in our body, we wouldn't be able to move, talk, speak, or sleep. So very vital for energy production and overall health. Then we have sodium at 210 milligrams, and sodium is going to help with hydration effects. It's also going to help with energy production, neurotransmitter production. It's going to help with our contractions as far as signaling for calcium release. Then we have the performance pump and power matrix. They did something amazing on this.
Listen.
They're setting a new standard for transparency in labels. They literally broke down how many nitrates are in this thing. I'm always telling you guys, like, arginine nitrate is not just a full nitrate source when it's in a profile. There's like a certain amount of nitrates bonded to salts and salt ions and arginine. So you kind of have to know how much nitrate is in there in order for it to actually work for you, because you should be getting 400 to 800 plus milligrams of nitrates for good vasodilation and blood flow and the effects of like moving toxins out of the body. So they are setting a new standard, and I appreciate you guys for this. Old School Labs, I respect you for this. So right on the top here, we have L-citrulline at 4 grams, vasodilation pumps. It's going to help with energy production because it's going to deliver oxygen and nutrients to the cells to help with ATP production. This is also a buffer to ammonia, which is a metabolite that can build in the muscle and lessen your contractional capability. Then we have beta-alanine at 3.2 grams. This turns into carnosine, which carnosine buffers hydrogen ions and lactate metabolites that build up in the muscles that can also lessen your contractional capability. Now, this has to be you have to be saturated with this in order to get the studied effects of increased endurance and power output within that 20-second to 10-minute time frame. Then we have betaine anhydrous at over 2.5 grams. So this helps with cellular hydration. This is an osmolite, so it balances hydration in the cell, which is going to help with endurance and power in the gym. And this is also a methyl donor, so it helps with creatine synthesis, helps to produce an amino acid that is crucial for muscle protein synthesis, helps with DNA and RNA repair and a few other things, helps with liver enzymes. Fantastic ingredient. Then we have nitrates at a little over a gram. 1,075 milligrams of nitrates. They're listing it on here. I love this. So nitrates help with vasodilation, but they also help with removing toxins out of the body as well. And the way nitrates work is you take them, the saliva in the mouth, activate them, and the digestive juices activate them rapidly, turn nitrates into nitrites, and then into NOS. So a direct transfer to dilate and activate those blood vessels. Then we have L-taurine at 1 gram. L-taurine is a nice vasodilator as well. The biggest thing on this is the hydration effects. So this doesn't just have the capability of hydrating, keeping hydration balance in the cells, but also electrolytes. So this balances the salts and the water that are in the cell. So more power, more output in the gym. Then we have boron at 10 milligrams. And boron actually can help, has been shown in some studies to increase testosterone. It's also been shown to help with estradiol. So that is a decent dose. So that's within a 6 milligram dose to, I think, a 12 milligram dose. It had those effects. And this is all depends individually if you're deficient in it, how your body's taking it and stuff like that. So this has the capability of actually helping with testosterone and hormone production. Then going on to the sustained power, focus, and crash-free complex. We have L-tyrosine at 2 grams. We know what that is. It increases the catecholamines, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine for cognitive function and focus. Helps with the thyroid production and assisting in the production of T3 and T4 hormones. And then we have a blast matrix, and this is a choline matrix at 988 milligrams, and a combination of vitacholine and alpha GPC. So you got 2 choline sources. Alpha GPC is going to turn the acetylcholine, which can help with mental firing between neurons. And then vitacholine actually has a few different functions to it, where it's got CDP choline, and this separates in the brain to choline and cytidine, and they do two different things. So the choline will actually be used in the body for energy production, acetylcholine production, and the cytidine helps with RNA and DNA coding and decoding and regulation within the brain. So fantastic health ingredient. So it's going to bring a different type. It brings a different type of a focus and a different type of combination than alpha GPC. It's just different.
It's just different.
Then we have Apina galenga extract at 300 milligrams. So this is an extra. Well, so this isn't an extra. They just took the whole root and threw it in here. And an extra helps with the attention network function in the brain for devoting yourself. It switches on the switch to devote yourself to a task, basically, real plain and simple. So it's concentration and focus switched to a devotion to whatever you're doing at the time. So good ingredient, good dose there. L-theanine at 100 milligrams. This slows down the creation of glutamate in the brain, which is our excitability neurotransmitters, by blocking the NMDA receptors. Yeah, NMDA receptors. And basically helps with bringing down the sensation of overactivity in the brain by increasing alpha brain waves. So it slows down overactivity, basically. And then we have caffeine at 30 milligrams. We got dicaffeine malate at 70 milligrams, which is going to yield about 50 milligrams of caffeine, adenosine blocker. Helps increase energy. And then we have theacrine at 110 milligrams. So theacrine is an ingredient that binds to the adenosine receptors like caffeine and induces the blockage of the A1 and A2A receptors, just like caffeine. And this also has an effect on the dopamine receptors, D1 and D2. So by doing these, it's not as harsh as caffeine, but by doing these 2 functions here in the brain, it's felt within 30 minutes, and the sucker lasts up to 6 to 8 hours as far as producing an energy effect that is similar to caffeine, but not exactly like caffeine, just kind of a few steps down. So very good hitter here. And then we have the caffeine from VitaSure at 30 milligrams. So this has about 330 milligrams of caffeine in it. I think I said 300 in the beginning of the video. I forgot to add in that VitaSure. Like I said, the ingredient label is like super large. Then we have heparin A at 10 milligrams. Heparin A blocks an enzyme that degrades acetylcholine in the brain. It's supposed to keep the choline elevated and active for a certain amount of time to increase whatever cognitive function and focus and memory that that's being produced at the time of taking the ingredients. Then we have an amplified hydration matrix here. This is pink Himalayan salt, 250 milligrams. This has some electrolytes in it, about 5 different electrolytes: magnesium, potassium, and all the electrolytes you see in a pre-workout here for hydration effects. And also it helps with nerve signaling in the body. So fantastic ingredient. Then we have some magnesium from traces. This is a magnesium glycinate. And then what they did, this is a special type of magnesium. So this helps with anti-cramping. It helps with blocking calcium when it needs to be blocked from a muscle so the muscle can relax. And this is from TRAACS, which is the Real Amino Acid Chitlate System.
Say what?
So this is a special magnesium that is, when it's bonded to glycine, each individual magnesium molecule is actually bonded and chitlated. So it absorbs very well within the body. It's probably one of the highest forms of magnesium out there. Fantastic magnesium ingredient. So I like the way they put that in there. Then we have freeze-dried coconut water powder at 150 milligrams. This has lauric acid in, which is going to help with an anti-inflammatory effect. It also has healthy fibers in it, has medium-chain triglycerides, which help regulate the metabolism, they help with energy production. And it's also has about 5 electrolytes in it. I think it's sodium, magnesium, calcium, potassium, and phosphorus. So we got some hydration effect, and the phosphorus at the end is going to help with ATP production. Then we have a immediate energy surge blend. We have caffeine anhydrous, adenosine blocker. So this is immediate. This is going to come in within about 45 minutes here. This is going to increase your energy production. Then we have citrate here at 100 milligrams. Half of that's going to be the caffeine that's going to be used. It's 50% caffeine. This is another adenosine blocker. This comes in fairly rapidly, about 15 minutes. Then we have theobromine at 100 milligrams. Theobromine increases blood flow within the body, so some vasodilation, some energy production, and also breaks down fat. It's from cocoa. And it's got some benefits as far as the epicatechins in it, the catechins in it. It also helps with the CAMP, which is going to help with CAMP, cyclic AMP, and cyclic GMP production, which is going to help with, on the CMP side, it's going to help with the fat burning effects, the energy producing effects, and on the CGMP side, it's going to help relax the soft tissue, which is going to relax the blood vessels for that vasodilation there. Then we have some dynamine here at 88 milligrams. This is a kind of a fast hitter here. This responds within about 20 minutes, and this peaks about 45 minutes and lasts about 3 hours. And basically what this does is, this is not really an adenosine blocker, but it decreases the sensitivity of the adenosine receptors. So by decreasing, it's not sensitizing the adenosine receptors to make them more active, it's bringing their activity down. So it's going to help increase energy production in the body, because as caffeine binds, as theacrine binds, this is supposed to increase all that. This is supposed to have some effects as well when it does this on acetylcholine, dopamine, serotonin, and GABA as well. So it's supposed to have some kind of brain function effects. On its own, I don't see a lot as far as the brain function and focus, but I do see that little kind of pickup a little quicker, especially if I do combine it with caffeine myself. It's a very good combination. We have black pepper extract of 5 milligrams, bring it all together in the digestive system. So all these things, this whole big ass profile activates for you guys. So Blast Max, how did it do? I hope I'm making some good time on this sucker. So you take the scoop on this thing and the effects. The beta-alanine comes in about 10 minutes. It's like a medium. I'd like to say it's between a medium and a medium high, but it's kind of just a tad bit above a medium. Hits you in the face about 8 minutes in, kind of peaks about 10 minutes in, and then it hangs around in the background, because everything comes in pretty rapidly as far as this thing goes, for maybe 20 minutes. You kind of lose track of it, because like other things just start happening. You want to move, you get the physical energy. So the energy starts to peak in about 15 minutes. You feel the energy, and then the focus comes in about 5. You start feeling kind of like not a high end focus, but a cognitive kind of a centering to where your concentration's kind of like elevated as far as concentrating on things and focusing on things and having attention increasing. So that comes in, I'd say 20 minutes is when you first notice it. The caffeine slowly builds from that 15 minutes on up to about 40 minutes. And that's pretty much what you're left with. And that energy that you're left with is a physical, get crap done energy. I mean, you know what? I love stim junkie energy, especially when it's not dialed down by L-theanine and other things from brain function and stuff. This thing delivers for me stim junkie energy. I was wiped after my workout today. I was going from set to set, hitting rep after rep and just dialed in with some energy that lasted a good hour and a half. And if I would have fueled during the training, I probably could have kept going, because it's about an hour after my training right now, because when I got done, I was wiped. I had to run upstairs and had to take a protein shake just to get some fuel in me to be able to do this review. So I'm hoping it turns out okay, and then come back down here. But I still have this kind of like hyped up energy when I need it. And this thing will carry you for 6 hours when it kicks in. 6 hours. You really kind of notice it dial off about 5 hours from initially taking it, but it literally stays with you. Because the first time I took this, I took a little bit of caffeine around 6 hours, and it was like, boom, my eyes started twitching. I was like, I might not get shaky or nothing like that, but I thought, it's like twitching from that stimulation effect. So it really kind of blocks and desensitizes those adenosine receptors really good. And just so you guys know, the teacrine and the dianamine in this thing do not cause that fatigue adrenaline effect that caffeine will. So when you have a pre-workout like this, the stim hit that you want to focus on, that you want to kind of keep in check, is whatever stimulation or amount of caffeine as far as stimulants, which would be caffeine, which would be DMHA, whatever you're throwing into your body for training and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry about the teacrine and the dianamine, because on the studies, people took this stuff continuously day after day for weeks on end up to a certain time, and they had no effect on their adrenal glands. But they kick. And they really kind of just damper those adenosine receptors from sucking in adenosine, and you don't crash on this thing. So you have long energy throughout the day, and dials down around 5 hours, but you're still kind of stimmed in the background for the rest of the day, and you dial down fine. Like, I had no problem sleeping. Of course, I take it during the day. I would advise anybody taking this thing to take it 6 hours before you go to bed, because of the long upper level hit, above normal that you get. So just something to think about. The focus on this thing is this medium, couple notches above medium type focus. This is not stim junkie focus. This is not nootropic bubble. This is a different type of head hit. It is really a focus, concentration, and attention type focus. So when you're training and throughout your day, you are task driven. Like, you are really task driven to get stuff done. And what's nice about it is it doesn't hit you so hard in the head to where you can't multitask, as far as you can't do multiple tasks in the day without kind of like getting a headache or getting kind of like, it's very versatile. Like, you're just task driven on everything you do all day. So it's not too extreme, and it's not so low that it doesn't combine with the caffeine well. It combines super well, matches up very well for a nice training session and a nice day, rest of the day, throughout the day. Pumps on this thing. Last thing, pumps are tight. So I really didn't notice any cell hydration, but what I did notice was I noticed endurance. I noticed muscle endurance through this sucker really well. So the way they combine this thing, and this is just a mixture of ingredients here, this gave great push, great kind of like endurance power output in the gym. I was hitting weights that I was doing from the beginning of the set. Like, let's say I was benching 225, and I could have gone back at the end of my workout after an hour and a half of hitting chest and probably benched 225 for almost the same reps because my endurance, my muscle endurance was just increased. It's a really good hitter. This is my type of pre-workout. I really enjoy this. I feel that if you're a stim junkie and you like that physical energy from Stim Junkie Pre's, and you're not the stim junkie that likes that dial back energy, like if you like Muscle Forces Unleashed type energy, or that type of kind of go energy, then for a daily driver, this is something you need to have on the shelf and give it a try. Very good pre-workout. I give it up to them. I don't have any codes, but I'll look around for the best deal, and more likely I'm just going to send you to the site. But it is something worth it. I do recommend this pre for people who want a daily driver that's not a crazy focus and concentration that kind of leaves you kind of like wonked out during the day or cracked out type head hit. It's a very just clear-headed and very workable energy most of the day and focus with a nice tight pump with a tad bit of a vasodilation hit. And it is a dry pump. This is not that cell swelling pump. So if you're lean, it's just going to tighten you up and it lasts for a while. Those nitrates stick with you for off and on throughout the day for maybe 2-3 hours. Like you just kind of feel a tightness in the background. So I hope this review helped, and I hope it was short enough. I won't know until I go cut it. But once again, here's Blast Max from Old School Labs. You guys have a good one. I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. We'll see you next time on the channel.